morning. Welcome to the Center for Creativity. We're so glad that you're here for I Can't Paint Postcards with Gilcrease Museum. I know this is going to be a lot of fun. We get to get our hands dirty, play with colors. That's always fun.
Everybody gets two.
So this is our teacher today, Grace and Dishman. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Grace Dishman, and she's with a representative from Gilcrease who is going to be our facilitator today. So welcome, Grace. She's still handing out a few things, but I wanted to go ahead and start on time. So I don't know how many of you are here for the first time. How many people are here first time? Yay, welcome. You braved some of the snow, and we're here. We're out of our houses, thank God. I am very happy to be out of the house. So here at TCC, I don't know if you know about this, but we have I'm going to switch gears just for a second. We have a program, a scholarship program, where students graduating from high school can come straight from high school to TCC for free. Did you guys know that? Yes. Good. Then we're doing our jobs. Yeah, so we just want every person that we can make aware, be aware that if you live in Tulsa County and you have a kid graduating from high school and they come straight from high school to Tulsa Community College without taking a year off or anything like that, they can come to TCC for free. And they have to maintain like a C average and do 40 hours of service learning in the community a year. And there's some other requirements, but my daughter is actually doing it. And I have not spent one penny on college. And she's in her second semester. So I highly, highly recommend it. And apart from that, yes, this is the Center for Creativity. The current exhibit is Tulsa Public Schools Face, and it's Fine Arts something exhibit. I don't know. But it's the face of TPS. So if you have a chance to look around, please enjoy the high school student artwork. And we rotate art exhibits in the space. So in addition to having free arts events, we also have exhibits. So that is way more than me. I think Grace is about ready. So let's go ahead and let her take over. Thank you.
No, you're fine. Okay, sorry guys. That was a lot of stuff to pass out. If anybody is missing any materials, feel free to come up here and grab them. You need one of these rectangle pieces, one square, and then two of the postcards, which should be passing around. So, and then there's more water. I'm Grace Dishman. I work with the Gilcrease Museum. I've been there a little over a year, and I'm the Learning and Community Engagement Coordinator. So I work with doing all the programs and events and get to do fun things like this. So this is my second I Can't workshop that I've led. So I'm really happy to be here and do some watercolor stuff with you guys. So I know it seems like you have a lot of supplies, and you do, but it'll go quick. So the first thing that I wanted us to do is take our square piece of paper. This is not the postcards. This is just the square blank piece of paper. And what you're going to do with this is you're just going to practice using watercolor. If you've never done it before, it's really easy. We're not going to get too technical, but it might be, you know in the name, you're going to have to use water. So that's why you have the water cups. And sorry if you guys have to share. There's a lot of you, so we have as much supplies as Gilcrease had for watercolor. So I'm going to have my stuff here. So here's my water cup. I'm just going to show you guys, you dip the brush in the water, and then you go to the paint of whatever color you want to use. and fill your brush up, and then you're going to be able to paint. And the more water you have on your brush, the lighter the color is going to be. The less water that's on your brush and the more paint you have on your brush, the more color there's going to be. So just spend a couple minutes. This is just practice, just trying to get used to the watercolor. So feel free to just do whatever you desire. And the next thing you're going to pull out is the rectangle piece, the long one, not the postcard, but the rectangle. With your rectangle piece of paper, you're going to use a pen or pencil writing utensil. It really doesn't matter because this is, again, I'm just showing you guys a few techniques. And you're going to split your paper into 3 sections. So draw 2 lines in the middle like that. If you're a trained watercolor artist, I apologize because we're not going to get super technical with all the different techniques you can use watercolor. We're going to go very basic, and instead I'm going to teach you 3 techniques, design techniques. So this might, if you haven't figured it out, we're painting postcards, and I'm going to show you different ways we can paint our postcards. So the first one is where you're going to use the washi tape. So there should be enough at your table. You might have to share. For this practice one, don't use too much because you'll want to save it for the real thing if you want to use this technique. But you're going to take it and you're going to create like sections and tape it down onto your paper. You're going to be painting the sections, and some of these sections are kind of big. It doesn't have to be perfect because this is just practicing it. Rinse off your brush before you choose a new color or they'll start to mix, and you probably don't want that. I know you probably are ready or wanting to take off the washi tape. I would wait till it dries a little bit so that it doesn't bleed through, but this is kind of the idea for the first idea of technique. You might not be done yet, but that's okay. This is just practice. We're going to move on to the next one so that you guys have plenty of time to make your postcards. The next one is going to be called, we call it blob art. So you're basically just going to choose whatever colors you like and just draw whatever kind of shape, different shapes, whatever you like. The last one I'm going to show you is how to do a gradient, which can be really pretty for a sky or just by itself. Gradients are really beautiful. I will say that the white watercolor palettes, this one, does a little bit better for the gradients than this black one, even though this one has a lot of pretty colors. Do whatever you like, but I'm just throwing that out there. So for gradients, you want to go from dark to light. So you want your first stroke to have the most amount of paint on it. So I'm going to do blue because it shows up really well. And you're going to get your brush wet, but I would tap it off to make sure it's not soaking wet. You want it to be kind of more damp. And then coat your brush with the paint. And you're going to go at the top and do a dark strokes. And basically the idea is sometimes this can be a little bit challenging. It's easier if you have a bigger brush, but you're going to use water to kind of pull the paint down so that it creates a gradient. And watercolor, I think, is very forgiving, but it also can be kind of challenging it's very challenging actually to get things exact. So you kind of just have to embrace that, I think, when you work with watercolor. But you can also use paper towels to kind of help move the water around a little bit in different ways. So as we practice these techniques, think about how you might want to use them to create your postcards. And of course, you don't have to follow these, but I wanted to show you guys a few ideas in case you don't know what you want to do yet. So let's go back to our washi tape one and slowly pull off the washi tape, and you can see it creates a really cool, mine was a stripe pattern, but I'm going to show you some examples I did that is more geometric. So this one is kind of cool. I painted the white space, so it's a geometric pattern. Here's another geometric pattern that I didn't paint the white space. And then here's just some stripes, really simple, easy. You could do horizontal stripes as well. So yeah, that's kind of the idea with that. The practice was just to get the idea, so you can definitely put a little more time and effort into your real one. But let's move on to the blob drawings. So of course you could leave them like this if you like that look. It's kind of a fun, playful look. I don't know if this pencil will show up. I meant to grab a pen or a marker, but you can you can draw things. Can you guys see that? Yes. Okay. This is gonna be a flower, and I'm doing a really bad job, sorry. This is gonna be a heart. This is gonna be a sunshine, a purple sun. This one, I'll just do a swirl. And this one's still kind of wet, so I want to be careful. Oh, thank you. I'll do like a star. And of course, you can make them better and more like the shape. But let me show you some of the examples. Oh, I forgot to show you this one. If you like, that might be upside down for you guys, I'm not sure. But I tried to do the OU. If there's a sports team, I did this with the washi tape. So you could do your initials. You could do anything you can think of. But that's just another example. So now I'll show you my examples for the blob shapes. So that's kind of a cute little girly one. This I used the black Crayola markers. The Sharpies work really well too, but make sure that the watercolor's dry, the paper's dry before you use the Sharpies or it will get all messed up. And then here's another one I did with just pen. They're just flowers. So that's just some simple ideas. For the gradient, we're not going to practice really on this one unless you want to, but here's some ideas. I did like a sky background, drew a house and a night sky. Oh, that's upside down. I'm sorry, guys. So it's like a night sky. This one is just mixing some colors and blending it all together. It kind of creates a pretty background. And then this one, the gradient's not as good, but hello sunshine, and I did a sun. So hopefully that gives you some ideas. There are these art cards on the table, and feel free to take these home. I think we have more if you didn't get one. But these are both, they're both paintings in our collection. This is Gathering Corn, and this is Island of Redbuds on the Cimarron, and they were both in our Gilcrease in Your Neighborhood collections programs that went on. And so I thought it might be fun, if you want to, you could try to mimic one of these. Of course, not in this grade of detail because that would be really challenging with watercolor, but you could do the blob art and kind of just be, if it inspires you, feel free to do whatever you want. But each person should have 2 postcards. And before I let you guys go free, I want to point out 2 things. On the back is this place for stamps and lines. So make sure if you're drawing something that has words or something, you want it to be where it's not going to read upside down when you flip it over. Another thing is your construction paper is meant to be kind of a placemat so watercolor didn't get everywhere. If it's wet and you place this down, you're going to get something like this, which I think is kind of cool. But if you don't want that, then wipe it off or flip it over or put a paper towel down just so that you can keep this as clean as possible. It might still bleed over just because of the nature of watercolor, but you can definitely try to mitigate that. So feel free to start with your postcards. And I can put these out if anybody wants to see an example again or if you have any questions. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to talk just a little bit about postcards themselves because I learned some fun facts about postcards and also have some items. Well, they're printed. They're not the real items, but from our collection that I wanted to show. So just listen as you work or look up when you can, but focus on your postcards for sure. So I know like not very many people probably send postcards anymore or buy postcards. I don't know if I ever really have, but they started in 1777 in France. And the point, of course, is that you could put something in the post without an envelope. But they weren't very popular in France at all because people didn't like other people being able to read their messages, which is understandable. So they didn't really hit America until 1861. John Charlton copyrighted the concept of a postcard, but it didn't feature images. It just had like a nice floral design on it. It wasn't until the World's Fair in Chicago in 1893 that postcards kind of became a big thing. There was a lot of souvenir postcards for the World's Fair that had images of different buildings and things of the World's Fair that people would send as souvenir postcards. And the most expensive postcard was sold for $40,000 at an auction in 2002, and it was a featured hand-painted caricature of postal clerks. Another fun fact is the average American stamp contains 1/10 of a calorie in the backing adhesive. Yeah, if you're counting calories, don't go licking stamps. And the first week of May is known as the National Postcard Week in America. So these might be fun to send out the first week of May, which is coming up quick. Okay, now I thought these were so fun. These are from our collection. And if you're not familiar with Gilcrease collections online, you can go to our website, gilcrease.org, and click on our digital collections. And our great digital curation team has digitized so many items in our collection, and they are online for you to view. And so I pulled a few postcards that I thought were really cool and printed them out. This is a Happy New Year postcard from, I believe, like early 1900s. And it's just kind of cute. And there's a message on the back, but it's pretty hard to read. It says, "Many thanks for the lovely table you sent. I like it so much. Come down when you can to see it, and I will write again." Yeah, it's sweet. And then this is a cool one. This is the Victor Hugo restaurant, the Garden Room. I don't know if anybody's familiar with this place, but it was a really prominent restaurant, I think a hotel as well, maybe, in Beverly Hills that a lot of the rich and famous would go to eat. So it's kind of cool. It reminds me of like I don't know, it's a neat place. So this is in our collection. This was 1907, I believe, and actually that might be the wrong year. But these are some cowgirls, queens of the rodeo, and their names are listed on the back. I can't read all of them, but it's really, really a neat postcard. And there's the back. Fairfax, Oklahoma. So the rest of them are from the Charles Russell collection. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Charles Russell. He was an American painter, artist from the West, or he painted a lot of scenes from the West. And his wife actually is credited as kind of making him famous. So this postcard, I don't know if this is them, probably not because it was sent to them, but it's this picture of this couple. And then on the back it says, "To Mrs. and Mrs. C.M. Russell." And this was dated October 28th, 1914. So isn't that weird seeing -14? I think 2014, but no, this is 1914. And I think that says "just trading," maybe. And then this was addressed to Mrs. Charles Russell. And I don't know who this lady is that sent this, but she wrote, I can't read it very well, but a nice little message that was sent in the mail. And this one actually shows the stamp, which is kind of cool. This is a funny one. This was addressed to Charles Russell, 1907. It's a dog and a thing of whiskey, and it says his master's breath. And this was August 1907. And this one's my very favorite. This is perfect for the month of February. This was a Valentine's Day postcard dated February 14th, 1909, and it's just sweet. And then it was addressed to Miss Mary Porter, so I'm assuming maybe her lover sent her this for Valentine's Day. And there's a stamp as well. And one last one, I don't think this is in the Charles Russell collection. late 1800s, early 1900s. It's of a horse. We have a lot of cowboy western related postcards, images in our collection. If that interests you, you can look at that. And this, it's super hard to see. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but this is a drawing of a saddle that whoever sent this put it here as a sketch. So it's pretty cool. So if these things interest you, we have so many on our online collections you can read about. And then once the museum opens, which if anybody's wondering, it will probably be, we're aiming for late 2026. We're eagerly anticipating it, but you might be able to see some of these on view in person. So, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Yeah, it was so much fun. Thank you.